Welcome back to Retro Effects. Today we're going to do Two-Player Tuesday. And I got this rare replay collection here. And we're going to play the Battletoads Arcade game that I've never played. And basically what it is, it's three-player. So I got Scrappy over here. And I got Blake over here.
How you doing?
And these guys are pretty knowledgeable about video game stuff. And I've been wanting to get on the channel for quite some time. So we're going to... I don't think any of us have played this game yet. So this is going to be the first time that any of us are playing it. And it actually is what I wanted the original Battletoads to be. It's like three-player arcade beat 'em up at the same time. So we're gonna, as soon as we get into the footage after this intro, I mean, this is going to be first time, like, raw playthrough. So hope you guys enjoy. And if you get a chance to play it, or if you play it, drop some comments below.
Here's Retro Ephex.
Alright. So you're watching a rare replay. Battletoads Arcade. Playing three-player. I started to play. Let's play a new game. So basically what we're going to do, I think A is attack and B is jump. And then whatever toad. I think this is going to start, and then you guys got to press a button to get in, almost like it's in the arcade.
Nice.
Yeah. Ram your frog in hides, so full of holes. So, alright, so this is me. Go ahead, you guys see if you can get in. So I'm the green one. Blake, what are you?
I'm the brown one.
Okay.
What button?
You gotta push
I hit
X.
B is what got me in, I believe.
Yeah, you gotta push X. There you go. Alright, so you're the darker green one. Alright, here we go. So, I think it's only two buttons. I think B is jump. Yeah. Is there friendly fire on?
I don't think
I
so.
hope not.
Nah.
No. Okay. All right. Because that would make me real mad. All right. This is basically kind of what I wished the NES Battletoads was gonna be. Three players at once. I mean, did you guys ever see this arcade cabinet?
I did not.
Yeah, I did actually. I think they had one at like Chuck E. Cheese. It was right next to the Turtles in Time.
It's kind of funny because that rat thing we're beating up sort of looks like Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh. So I guess the flies are the same. All right. So
German.
So they did have it at Chuck E. Cheese, like here?
Yeah. The one on
The same one that's in Metairie?
the
All
one.
right. So who's got?
No double jump.
No.
It's those old school games, so you forget. You're so programmed to double jump from newer games.
Yeah, single jump. I think this is 1994. So the original Battletoads came out in like 91, I think. Oh man, was that blood?
I like how like the limbs get bigger, like towards the screen, kind of like a comic book. It has like pow and bang.
Yeah, and they did that in the OG Battletoads, but it was, obviously it wasn't arcade style graphics. I guess this is.
That was definitely. Well, that might have been the floor. I thought I saw blood too just now.
Yeah. I think I had heard that this was a little gory, but
That was very Turtles in Time-ish, kicking them towards the camera.
yeah, towards the camera. So far it's pretty cool. I mean, the only gripe I would say is like there's not a lot of room
Yeah.
on that. Like, see, I'm going just. That's all I can. That's not using the whole screen.
They should have filled it out.
Isn't there usually a setting in games like this where you could actually make it fit the screen if you wanted to?
It might.
They're supposed
'Cause
to.
I know I have the 2D side scroller fight collection. I think it's from I think it's Capcom.
With
That I have on
Magic Sword
360. I believe so.
and God, what was it?
Final Fight, I think, is on there.
Yeah. It was Final Fight.
Whoa.
Can you take off the border? Is that? I mean, I
I
kind
know
of.
you can change the border. I want to say you can fit the screen too, but I could be. I mean, it's a completely different collection, so who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that might have been friendly fire.
Do you have that? Do you have that hammer?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, that was that was friendly fire, and that was blood. There's
Yeah,
blood
yeah,
in a
yeah.
Battletoads game.
Look again.
Yeah. Man. All right. So this is like getting the pizza and Turtles.
If I'm not mistaken, aren't their names like Rash, Zit, and Pimple?
Yeah. Rash, zits, and pimples. Yep.
Whoa, what does my character do? Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Ah.
They can't be
Do
good.
those ships look like the same ships that they have in Star Wars?
They do kind of look like Star Destroyers.
Toads in space. Did y'all ever watch Bucky O'Hare?
Yes. I had what I liked with those action figures when I was a kid too, because they fit perfectly to play with the Ninja Turtles.
I had Ninja Turtle
really?
figures.
Yeah. Well, that's the same reason I got big into the Toxic Crusader action figures, because they looked and they fit right along with all the turtles.
I remember Toxic Crusaders cartoon.
That was great.
I had the Genesis game, which was a little weird. It was not. It was kind of stiff.
Which is crazy when you think that they made a cartoon out of that, because that movie was super B-movie R-rated.
Oh, it was-
like there was
yeah.
naked girls and blood all over the place.
Yeah.
They run over a kid's head full speed in that movie.
Yeah, I remember.
That was perfect for an animated series.
What was the guy's name?
The Trauma? You're talking about the
Yeah,
the guy who
trauma.
made-
Yeah, trauma.
Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. Starts with a K.
Yeah, I forget. I seen him. Didn't he do a thing on the?
AVGN.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
What? It's almost 2,000 pounds. Doesn't that remind you of like xenomorphs, like coming out of like your like body and stuff like that? You saw like how he had that glowing stuff.
Xenomorphs
Floor slippery.
from Alien.
Yeah.
It does kind of look like one of the chest bursters.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
was.
okay. Yeah. Like from the face hugger.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a while. Is that a Rudolph? That's a Rudolph. That's crazy. This is nuts.
This game is so colorful.
It really is. It's bright. That's for sure. I mean, Rare usually does a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they do Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, dude, Donkey Kong Country was like, and the soundtrack alone from that video game is really fucking good.
Oh, okay, so I know this. Oh yeah, the soundtrack was good. Look at the start. Where am I? There am I. So these snowmen, these guys are on the NES game, and what you got to do on the NES game is like you play like a snowball fight with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this stage is on the NES. It's a 4th stage. Is it 4th? Yeah, 4th. It's right after the turbo tunnel, and most people don't get to because most people don't beat the turbo tunnel. Is that a gun? Oh my god, I have a gun.
I mean, I just drilled into a small rodent.
So much for the Biker Mice from Mars crossover.
Yeah, dude.
This is nuts.
90s video game violence was on a whole different level.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you think about it, this is around the time when Mortal Kombat came out.
Oh, yeah.
Like OG Mortal Kombat.
Some of those Mortal Kombat fatalities, my favorite part is like there'll be way more bones than a human body had when you explode someone.
Yeah.
It's like 13 different spines in one body.
For sure. I never got really into any Mortal Kombat past the second one.
I really liked the movies. I don't know if that's like weird, but like that was like my first Mortal Kombat media, and like I was at my buddy's house and we would watch the Mortal Kombat movie and play Budokai, the same one that you got.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, dude.
I always love Mortal Kombat lore. I just suck at fighting games.
Dude, we would.
It looks just like Han Solo's gun.
I don't know anyone that's good at fighting games. Like when we were younger and we would play fighting games, we would like give each other time to try to get down the move because if not,
Yeah.
spam
Yeah.
buttons.
Yeah.
Hold up.
We played like that too, and it's funny talking to like you guys when Scrappy's a little bit younger than us, but not too. Oh, that's me. I gotta go this way. And both of these guys grew up down here, whereas I grew up in Pennsylvania. So it's funny talking to people of different ages in different places with their video game memories, and especially the ones that are the same. Like, if y'all played like that and we played like that, and it's like, you know, we grew up two completely different places. I can't believe I have a...
Yeah, you picked up the gun, dude.
Yeah, I can't believe I have a machine gun on Battletoads. But anyway, so that's kind of what I think is interesting, where, you know, a lot of people had the same kind of habits or rules or whatever when they played when they were growing up.
It's weird though, because I sucked at fighting games and I never liked them, but I loved wrestling games which are fighting games.
Basically fighting games, yeah. I was okay, but you know, honestly, I never got to play against other people much. One, because I lived out in the country, so if we did, it was like on Sega or Super Nintendo. And then at the arcades, like, you know, the older kids never let you play.
Did you guys like ever get that feeling though? Like my only gripe about like sports games in general is that sometimes I don't like playing them because it makes me want to actually go outside and like play the sport.
So like with fighting, like it makes you want to fight.
Well, it not like that.
Is that
like,
what you were getting at?
But like, you know, like I rather like go out and like do it, and then like I got older and I was like, man, it's just easier to play the sports games inside.
With like FIFA.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's like, because there's no sports on right now.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I was watching, like, the 1986 NFL playoffs the other day on YouTube, and I went down a deep, dark hole.
Thank God for UFC, because I've been loving. They've been putting on some great fights.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that they've been doing better than they were.
Probably ever been.
I'm sure.
Probably better than they ever been.
I'm excited for this weekend. It's got a really good card.
Who's on the card this weekend?
Mike Perry's fighting the dude who beat CM Punk. Mickey Gall.
Oh, okay, yeah. CM Punk. Phil Brooks.
Poor little fella.
Poor guy. Oh, wow. That was a lot of blood.
Oh, my.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, is that a football helmet?
That was 100% a football helmet.
And I think I had an axe.
Yeah, your leg became an axe.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That dude, that is definitely blood. He straight ate me.
Oh, my God.
That's really scary.
That was rough.
Oh, no.
Remember in Elm Street 3 when he turns into the giant Freddy snake and has to...
Oh, yeah. That's the Dream Warriors one, huh?
Yep. You know, they made him green in that movie because when they originally shot it, they made him the color of Freddy, but because it was pink and stuff, from the overhead view, it looked like a giant... so they had to cut it.
Oh, no.
Spray paint him green, basically.
Really?
Yeah, they had to change the color because the MPAA looked at it and was like, hey, man, that's, nah.
It's not appropriate. So I guess...
He's got to be close.
Yeah, because he's getting faster.
Oh.
You would think I'd be able to save you out of there.
I do like the way that they like run. It's like very like Flintstones.
Yeah, it's kind of... Anyway, I was saying the other day, I was playing... I was watching old NFL games, and it kind of made me want to play Madden. I mean, that's kind of like what you were talking about.
Yeah.
See, you just saved me out of there, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, it didn't kill you?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's everywhere.
That's a little rough. He just did a pelvic thrust, too. I do like the border on this, though. I think it's kind of cool.
It's a cool border.
The character on the right's name is not Bebop. Not Rocksteady. Whichever one was the pig.
Oh,
It looks
wow.
just like a ripoff of...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he looks exactly like.
I don't remember if the
villains
pig guy
from
was...
Turtles.
Rocksteady was the rhino, right?
Yeah.
Bebop was the...
Yeah. Bebop was the warthog. The down the bottom to the right looks like the lizard from the
I think it's the thing I
I
just
think
bit me in
it's
half.
the thing we just
Yeah.
battled.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Dang.
Call her Dark Queen.
This
There's
cannot
no
be
way
the
she's 126 pounds. That's a lie.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's all it's evenly distributed.
Yeah.
This can't be the last level. She's the boss. I mean, she's the boss in the She's the end boss in the first one. Did you guys know anybody who had a Turbo Graphics?
No.
I had a friend that let us borrow it. I think that's what he let us borrow to play Smash Brothers on. Not Smash. I'm sorry, Splatterhouse on.
Yeah, it would have been Splatterhouse. That was like, that's regarded as like the best console version of Splatterhouse.
Yeah, I remember him letting us borrow it to
Yeah.
play that on there, and I loved it because it was basically a game where you got to play as Jason Voorhees, so I was all about it.
Yep. So if you haven't figured it out, Blake is kind of a horror aficionado.
Speaking of Castlevania, though, did you guys watch the
The
Netflix
series?
adaptation?
Oh, it's great.
It's fantastic, dude.
So the Netflix one was it was Castlevania 3, and then it was a PlayStation 2 one which continued Castlevania 3, and they kind of went into it in 3 seasons. And it was great, and they didn't finish the PlayStation 2 story yet, but I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I only watched the first season. I watched the 2 episodes of the first season, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I binge watched it one night.
They're gonna have a 4th season.
I need to get off my butt and finish The Witcher too.
Dude, you really got to.
How is that? I didn't
It's
watch it.
so good. I would say it's better
It's
than
really
Castlevania.
good. What I saw. Unfortunately, I never played the games, but now that I've seen the show, I want to finish the first season and then buy the collection because the collection is really reasonable on Xbox.
Yeah, I got like Game of the Year, and after like the show did so well, like they put out a bunch of like sales for all the DLC.
Really? Now I have all the games. It's one of those things where you're a collector, so you have more games than you're able to play.
Yeah.
More games than time.
I like that with shows too, though. Like we're talking about the shows of like The Witcher and everything. Like
Yeah.
I have every opportunity in the world right now with the virus and not working that much to watch The Witcher, but I've went back through to catch all the Easter eggs I missed in The Mandalorian. Like
Yeah.
I'm going through that again. I'm watching Clone Wars again to go through. It's like
That's one thing I want because I know I was finishing Clone Wars at the time, and we were all working together, and I know I talked to these guys about finishing Clone Wars, and I did right back when I moved back down here, and that's probably the last time I watched it, and I mean that definitely deserves a playthrough, but for me, like, it's so hard to get through the first season. It's just a little.
It's a little slow.
It's a little slow, and like, as much as I like Ahsoka as a character, I don't like her in the first season.
yeah, she definitely gets much
she's
more likable.
She's annoying. But like I most people for like the new season, like the one that they just came out with,
Yeah.
they say that it's not as good because it has so much Ahsoka in it. And like I really like Ahsoka, but maybe I think I just kind of masking that feeling of just being able to have more Clone Wars.
I loved that. I thought this season was one of the best seasons.
Yeah,
The new one, I
100%.
loved it.
I've heard mixed reviews from all kinds of fans, and I haven't watched it yet, and that's one thing. That's one thing I got to get back on. For me, like, I wouldn't mind more. I wouldn't mind a live action Ahsoka movie. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think they said she's going to be. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but they were saying she was going to be a Mandalorian season 2.
I heard about that, and I hope she is.
Yeah, especially they said Rosario Dawson playing her. That'd be perfect.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's the rumor.
I do like Rosario Dawson. Wow, this is.
Yeah, I've watched every episode of the new Clone Wars except the last episode because I don't want it to end, and I know after I watch it.
Yeah, I do that. Well, I'm doing that with the Final Fantasy VII remake right now. I'm 3/4 of the way done with the game, and I'm not playing it.
I don't like this friendly fire thing. It's only weapons.
It's
though.
only on the It's only. I think it's just that
I
weapon.
think it's just a hammer.
But I don't want to beat it because I don't want it to end. I know it's going to be years before the next one comes out.
Dude, there's no way they're gonna be able to finish it within like 3 games. It's probably gonna be like 4 games.
Yeah, I know because because the first disc is just leaving Midgar, and that's only really
The first like 10 hours maybe.
yeah. I mean, you can spend 10 hours, but you can do it in under 10 hours.
Yeah.
It's basically the introductory part of the game. And not that that's bad or anything. I like the attention to detail. So I haven't watched any spoilers, and I mean, it's not that I don't know what goes on in the game, but you know, I know they've changed a couple things, and I've been very fortunate not to look at any spoilers, so I'm playing through it like raw and like, you know, uncut.
Yeah.
And you know, everything for the first time for me. So, but I know that there are some side stories, you know, that were not in the first game. So, you know, I'm enjoying that, and if they continue to do that, it's gonna be like, I'm thinking, Scrap, like 5-6 games.
It's gonna be. I mean, what are you gonna do? Take one of the best-selling, highest rated video games of all time, and like, not per se rush it, but like,
right.
you know, like, push it out? No, you're gonna milk that cow.
No, I think you milk the cow, and then, you know, you gotta wait till PS5 comes out because you want to get.
Oh, 100%.
Now, I think that's what they're waiting for. I think really, honestly, this was the teaser, and then PS5 is like, they're gonna have more storage.
They're gonna have bigger games.
Yeah, so you're gonna be able to.
I said that last night on it when I was talking to people while I was gaming.
Playing on the Xbox last night.
We were talking about that. They was like, dude, there's no way. Like, the games are gonna be bigger. Like, you think like 100 gigabyte Halo 5 game from 2015 is big now. You know, you think a terabyte is big until they start selling the terabyte hard drives or external hard drives for like $20.
I know.
Like, do you guys actually? I know you guys are a little bit older than me, but like, do you guys remember having to get flash drives that were megabytes?
Yeah, I have one up there.
Like, and now like if it doesn't have like at least like 16 gigabytes or so on a flash drive, you look at it the wrong way.
I just bought a 2 terabyte over there because my computer has 500 gigs, and I'm like, that's not big enough. Blake, do you remember the floppy disks?
Yes.
I had floppy disks too.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Like the floppy ones?
Mm-hmm. I was on the end of that. We had that like in.
Okay.
Like that was before anybody knew about how to copyright protect games too. So everybody would buy one guy would buy it, and then you would just basically copy the your floppy onto every other person in the class.
Oh yeah. Games. I mean, I was probably like 2nd or 3rd grade, which Super Nintendo and Genesis and stuff were already out. But I had my uncle. My uncle gave me his old Commodore 64.
This dude's got no arms. Like, it's a flesh wound.
He's kicking field goals. 63-yarder right
I don't know. As an Italian, I don't feel comfortable with him being a rat. Let's whack him.
I knew he was going to say something about rats in Italian at some point.
Oh, boy. Oh, he is a rat. Okay. He kind of looks like Rizzo from Muppets, huh?
Do rats and toads just not get along?
Looks like Henry Hill to me.
He's not alive anymore, huh?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
Just in case he saw this video. Just making sure. I don't know the beef with rats and toads. I mean, I guess it's just, well, they couldn't do turtles because that was already done.
I'm trying to think of
This would have ate. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are there any video games where like rats are the main protagonists? I'm just trying to think.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars.
That's mice, not rats. I loved that show as a kid.
It was okay. I didn't see a lot of it.
I liked all those Ninja Turtles rip-offs. Street Sharks, Biker Mice. I liked all of them.
Oh yeah. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Do you remember
Did I get a cartoon too?
Yeah, it was a cartoon, and then I know it was a beat 'em up. I think it was a pretty decent one too.
I remember the beat 'em up. I just didn't know if it got a series as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't even trashed, blitzed, pulverized. Bonus round, huh? Is this like Street Fighter 2? You gotta beat up the car? I'm gonna go on this side. I'm trying to think if there was any,
I mean, besides like a Mickey Mouse game, but that's also a mouse, right?
Yeah, he's a mouse.
I mean, mice are easier to sell to kids, cute-wise, as far as...
Yeah.
That's true.
100%.
There we go. Can you imagine how many quarters we would have used already?
Dude,
yeah, we've like restarted a million.
Yeah. At least $5 a piece.
Brash wins. Star Wars didn't have any good arcade games when we were kids, huh? Like when they were releasing the DVDs and stuff. Like I know back in the day, past us there was the X-wing one, but I don't remember that one. Seeing it physically.
There was the Vector Graphics, the one, and I talked about it when I just beat Super Star Wars the other day,
I saw it.
and I talked about it on that where. They had the Vector Graphics one, which was like, they have that out now with the arcade one-ups, like the Galaga machine I have. So they have the little one, and they redid it. But other than that, Star Wars Arcade, I don't think so until, they started doing the one in the barcade with, where it was like a dome that you sat in. Like, this was an experience.
I remember that one. I think they had that at Dave & Buster's.
Either Dave & Buster's, and I know they had it at Barcadia for a little while.
To keep anything in one of those places nice, though, because you have drunk adults trying to mess with them, so you know it's going to get broken.
Yeah, that's the thing with arcade machines and being in bars. Unless it's specifically one where, like, it's only nerds going there.
Yeah. Well, that's why my OCD takes over whenever you see these hipsters that are like, I'm going to open a bar/comic book shop. I'm like, oh, God. No. Sounds like a horrible idea.
So, like, this is, like, borderline, like, a horror game?
Not completely. You're right, though. It is very Splatterhouse.
It is very Splatterhouse. I think... So, at the time, like I said, this is 90... Man, that was a lot of blood.
Dude, it's really cool. You basically play as Jason Voorhees. Like, a character that looks just like him. And you'll like... It's the first game I'd ever seen do this, too. Like, you'll hit bad guys towards the back.
Yeah,
and they'll splatter and blood will slide.
Yeah.
You can get shotguns and stuff. It's pretty cool, man.
I think the main weapon was like a piece of wood, huh?
Yeah. It was like a 2x4. Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan
style.
Yeah,
Hacksaw. What else was... House of the Dead.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Drew and I used to go to that little movie theater that's not far from here because it was cheaper than going to the big, stadium theaters. And they had a House of the Dead machine. We tried the entire time we lived here to beat that game before.
Really?
We had to leave it. Yeah, we ended up getting real close towards the end, but it was a quarter sucker. You know how those games.
Oh yeah, I had it for the Dreamcast when Dreamcast came out. And I still have a Dreamcast, but for us to be able to play a light gun game on a Dreamcast right now, I'd have to get the CRT TV because they don't work on the.
Yeah. You need a picture tube, right?
Yep. You gotta have the old school one. Man, this looks like Double Dragon. This looks like the last day.
Speaking of Double Dragon, me and Blake, we were trying to beat Double Dragon Neon, I believe it's called.
Oh yeah, Neon.
It's for the.
I still think the only reason we didn't beat that game is we never got into the last level without being blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Who, us?
No, me and Scrappy.
Oh yeah, probably yeah.
We played it probably a good
We'd always play it right after work, and
yep.
By the time we got to the last level, the pizza was already there. We're all buzzed up, and it was like. Argh! Not to mention, it didn't have a very good save system where, if you lost in the last level, you had to start all the way at the beginning of the level. There was no, right before the boss. You were starting over.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's very Nintendo-like.
And then they had, this level right before the boss where it was, a graveyard, and there was, projectiles, and,
Who was the boss? Was it the Shadow guy?
No, the boss was the biggest Skeletor ripoff I've ever seen in my life, called Skullmageddon.
It was Skullmageddon.
And he sounds just like Skeletor. He does the... It's so funny. Van Damme, too. I loved Van Damme as a kid.
I like Bloodsport's one of my favorite movies.
You know what's funny is I always liked Kickboxer more.
Really?
Oddly enough, I always thought Kickboxer was cool. I thought Tong Po was a scarier bad guy.
Yeah. I think I like the tournament aspect of just all the different fighting styles. I mean, and I was into martial arts really, really young, and
Bloodsport was sort of an updated Enter the Dragon.
Yeah,
with the tournament.
Oh, for
type
sure,
shit.
For sure. But I liked how they showed all the different fighting styles and where they originated from, and I guess that's kind of what made it a little bit more like what I liked. And they definitely ripped Johnny Cage off of what's his face,
Frank Dukes.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that guy turned out to be a phony.
Oh, he's full of it. Yeah, for sure, dude. I knew that too when he was like, I have top secret clearance that I can't tell you. Anybody who says
Yep.
I can't tell you. Like,
Right.
all my accolades, I'd tell you, but it's top secret. If they were really top secret, they wouldn't even be telling you that they can't tell you.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I hear you. A lot of weirdos in the martial arts world.
It reminds me of your boy in Ratatouille, the chef that he's like, I killed a man using this thumb.
Blake's had to watch that movie at least 10 times in the last couple of days.
My nephew watched it. Honestly, of all the Disney movies that a little kid can get stuck on, at least it's a good one. I'm a Patton Oswalt fan.
All right, so I did we did a thing in class where I asked the kids to like do the hero's journey thing, like
Nice,
so we were
nice.
we were talking about the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? So like when we do
Yes.
Mesopotamia, and I said, okay, you got to pick something and you got to apply the hero's journey module, like it's a cross curricular with like with English and literature and stuff.
Yeah.
So one kid picked Ratatouille, and I'm like, all right, fine. But then he did it, and like it sounded interesting, and I watched it, and I told him, like, you know what, I watched it, and I liked it. I did like it, and I'm not a big Disney cartoon,
Not into the Pixar scene.
not super into the Pixar's, but I did like Ratatouille. You know what I watched not too long ago was Megamind, and I kind of like that.
Doesn't that have Will Ferrell?
Is that
Yeah.
DreamWorks?
Yeah, that's
It might be
It's
DreamWorks.
I know I picture in the guy who looks like Dr. Wily with the big head, but I don't really remember.
Yeah,
it's
something like that.
He's like blue.
Yeah, he is blue. Yeah, it's Will Ferrell and I forget who the chick was. But
This is Indiana Jones's worst nightmare.
yeah, this is terrible.
Um,
Now the graphics on this are pretty good.
yeah.
Um,
Were they this good when it originally came out? Because it doesn't look like it was that altered.
Well, it just goes to show you how far ahead
Dude, this
arcades machines were of home
then consoles, right? Even at the time. Now they're not.
Yeah.
But
Well,
back
like
in
Dave
the
and
day.
Buster has some good technology. I saw some videos, and like they have like this like wall where like they have like Pac-Man and stuff, and like you have to like use this like touch screen and stuff.
For Pac-Man.
And then they were supposed to, I don't know too much about it, so don't quote me on it, but they were supposed to have an exclusive game at Dave & Buster's. It was like a Halo game.
Really?
Where you were like an ODST, or like one of the, like the lower Marine people. And it was like a booth. Remember those Jurassic Park games at arcades?
Where
like,
you
they had,
sit
like,
down
the
into it?
curtains?
Yeah. That's how the Star Wars game was I was talking about. Yeah. It was like an experience.
Wasn't there
Yeah,
a Uzi,
it's cool.
Uzi on that? No, I'm thinking of the Terminator one. My bad. There was
Yeah,
a
the
Uzi hooked up to the Terminator one, but the one you're talking about is Jurassic Park. I know what you. And there's actually a really good Alien one just like that at Dave & Buster's where you have to shoot the face huggers when they come at you and stuff.
There's an Alien one.
There's a Star Wars one too, where like they have like
That's the one where you have to do the trench run,
wheel,
right?
And
Yep.
like, it like swivels, right?
Yep.
That's cool.
Is that Battle of Yavin they make you play? I think so. Where you have to
Yeah.
blow up the Death Star?
And you could so the newest one you can pick. You could do Yavin. You could do
Second Death Star, I'm sure, right?
Death Star speeder bike on the
Everyone loves the speed.
Endor, and then you can do the snow one, Hoth, the snow speeder, which was which was probably my favorite on like Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah. You talking about the one where you had to basically like tie its shoelaces together? You use the drop cable.
Yep. To get
That
the
was good
AT-ATs. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna test you guys, and maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but what do you think the hardest Star Wars video game was? Because I know instantly.
No, I'm sorry.
I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah,
Pod race.
Pod racing.
Pod
Racing?
racing?
Pod racing.
Yeah, that was a
Really?
pain in the ass. Your reaction time had to basically be like, if you could play that game perfectly, you could ride a real pod racer, basically, because the reaction time was insanity.
Yeah. And it was for 64.
Like,
and I never
every single 2 seconds,
Yeah.
you would just be like, oh, that was a nasty wipeout, because you just hit the wall.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Maybe
a
we
really
gotta-
hard game.
It wasn't
Maybe we
for
got to
children.
play that on here.
I haven't played that game since I was in
you know,
summer school as a kid, but I can tell you, like, holy crap. I was worse at that game than I was at math that I was in summer school for.
Now, for me, and I go a little bit more obscure with my retro stuff, but the Famicom Star Wars was pretty hard.
the ones you just recently reviewed, I think, are the best of the OG Star Wars games.
They really
I like
are.
The style, and like the thing is with like the older ones like that, I feel like it's all the same model, and then like they just like reskin it.
Yeah.
But like I like the model, so
but
like,
it works.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, what they did change from the first one to the second one, which obviously follows the movie, from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back. Later on in the game, Luke gets force powers.
Okay.
So,
yeah, because I can remember back in the day, I rented. They were all already out. And, I ended up renting them like 3 weekends in a row, and I liked the Jedi one more because Luke was always my favorite, and he actually had the green lightsaber and was a badass. But in the first one, in A New Hope, he's just got the blaster and he's kind of weak. So by the time we got to the Return of the Jedi one, I was like, all right, so this is the one that I like the most.
Yep. Man, this is a shoot 'em up level.
Honestly,
it's a lot of diversity in gameplay.
The Star Wars game that you recently reviewed and played, it reminds me a lot, and I'm looking at it because you got on your shelf the Aladdin game.
The Aladdin game?
Mm-hmm. Like as far as like platforming and like how like it's set, is that like the same era or like the same time?
Oh, they were all for sure the same era.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hook and all that was very similar too. The Hook game was, if you remember, played a lot like Super Star Wars.
And one thing I mentioned in my other video was, oh man, look at that. This is like Contra kinda. One thing I mentioned was that LucasArts, and you guys know because you guys like the Star Wars games, LucasArts did a great job. And it stinks now that they're no longer in production of games. But the one thing that they didn't do real well was the Indiana Jones games, which I was kind of upset about.
Yeah, I can't remember an Indiana Jones game that I can remember.
Right.
I know I'm not in the cool kids club on that one. I was never a big Indiana Jones fan, like of the movies or the character.
Yeah.
Really?
Harrison Ford never did it for me. Like I never understood the love for Han Solo. I never understood, because he gets his ass kicked in every movie he's in. Like Han Solo gets beat up almost every time he gets in a fight in those movies and has to get saved. Indiana Jones always gets beat up. In Blade Runner, he gets the shit kicked out of him. It's like Harrison Ford must have in his contract like cannot win fights.
He's the baby face. He's the hitman of
Man, Brett won at least.
Yeah, you're right.
He just didn't do it for me. I'm sure I'm going to get flamed for that, but he was never.
All right. Look, everybody's got their opinion. I like Harrison Ford. I'm a big Harrison Ford guy. I mean, I liked him in some of the other movies, Obviously, I like Blade Runner, and I thought I don't think anybody else can play. Maybe Tom Selleck can play Indiana Jones, but that's about it.
Modern, I liked the idea of Chris Pratt being like his successor, like his son or something.
I can see it.
When people, I'm obviously not the first person to say that, but I've seen it. People suggest it before, and I could see that. I could see Chris Pratt doing it.
Well, you know what they also say that he should do is what are the PlayStation games where it's kind of like Indiana Jones?
Uncharted.
Aren't they
making a movie?
Naughty Dog.
Tom Holland's gonna play.
Oh, is it Tom Holland?
Yeah.
But how good would Chris Pratt be though?
He would be really good.
He'd be perfect. I mean, Tom Holland probably would be pretty good.
That's the role everybody wants Nathan Fillion to play, I think.
Really?
Is the guy from Uncharted? Yeah.
Nathan Drake, I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I started playing it. And you guys know me. I don't play a lot of shooters. I'm just not good at them.
Is it a shooter?
Well, it's it's adventure and like platforming shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
It's just an action RPG, right?
But I heard.
No,
I remember.
No, it's like Tomb Raider.
Yeah. It's definitely more Tomb Raider.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And like there's treasure and stuff like that, right? I actually haven't personally played, but like I remember when it first came out, it was supposed to be like really like cool because they got like real actors to do the voice acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the reason we never got into it was we're both Xbox guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a PlayStation.
I didn't even think about that. You see what that achievement was? A particular set of skills.
I'm gonna throw this one out there, and like I don't know if you've played it, but Final Fantasy 13, I love that entire series. I played every game. I spent at least 300 hours on the first one.
So, just a little background. Me and Scrap play a lot of RPGs, And Blake, you played a couple, right?
I'm new to the RPGs, but I love the ones that I have played. But I'm on training wheels. I play Mario RPG and
Those are great ones.
Earthbound are the two that I've started.
Both good ones. And if you watch the intro to my show, I put my little Earthbound copy in there that I'm proud to own.
And as much as I'm sure it doesn't count, I play the shit out of Mario. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes on my cell phone, which is turn-based RPG.
Right.
Hey man, whatever you can get into.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere.
That's kind of RPG genre is it's kind of one of those things where you got to pick your flavor, and there's one for everybody. I think at least one for everybody. But Final Fantasy 13, obviously that's. From what I know, and I played a couple minutes of it, and I never really got into it, but I know that that's one that
it gets a lot of flack.
People either love it or they hate it. There's no in the middle, right? And that's fine. What I'll probably do at some point when I have time is play it just so I can have an opinion. Yeah.
Well, the main. Like what people say about it is like it's a linear corridor,
right,
and stuff like that. But right. I mean, like, is that necessarily? But
so was 10, though.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing? I loved all the characters, like, and then like there's a free roam spot where like they have the classic Final Fantasy behemoth, and you chase the cactar around and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the big knocks on The Last of Us 2, isn't it? That it's just there's really no choices involved. It's a linear. It's almost like a Telltale game where like you're going in one direction.
Yeah, it's also like very just violent. And the other review that I said, by the end of the game, he was so numb because it was just like over violent that like he was just like.
There's a lot of messed up animal abuse stuff in there too.
I heard some stuff that
you don't have to hurt the animals if you don't want to, but there's like several instances where they kind of force you into a situation where you have to hurt dogs.
The Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
See, I'm not into that. I'm a dog guy.
Me either. I mean, I'm a cat guy, but I still don't want to shoot them.
I like
animals.
You know what I mean?
The animals are animals. Except for snakes.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah. Dad would never made a pest the rats. I know you hate rats.
We actually, me and Blake used to work at in the French Quarter downtown, right by the river, and Blake would come in with a roll of duct tape and launch it at the office door, and then it would just go scurrying.
I don't like them. Like, I will not fear a 500-pound man, but I will fear a rat.
Yeah.
And I would throw the duct tape as hard as I could. The rats would scatter. I'd run in, I'd get the envelope with all the money, and run out and set up the register.
Did we just beat the game?
I think we just beat the game.
We just beat the game. That was pretty cool.
I enjoyed it. That was a fun game.
Yeah, that was.
I think we went through like at least $20.
Yeah, at least $20 on the
for
game.
For sure. $20 a piece, maybe.
Per person. I liked it. I mean, that was our first playthrough. I thought we would fight the Queen, which I was looking forward to, but David Wise does a good job with the music. That makes a lot of sense. See, yeah, he did a lot of the rare stuff. He definitely did. I know he did Donkey Kong Country, and I think he did Banjo-Kazooie.
Donkey Kong Country's underwater music.
Aquatic ambience.
That is the best.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Underwater music of any video game.
I could fall asleep to it.
They actually have some remixes that like I still play and like I listen to like pretty much like once a week at least. Like video game music, like the good video game music is just I feel like for me it's like up there with like when regular people have like Mozart and like classics.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Anyway, so that's first 2-player Tuesday. I'm gonna try to get these out at least every other week. We're gonna play some classics. I wanted to do this one. This is the first one I wanted to do because I've never played it, but I don't want to play it. You finally get a 3-player Battletoad game, and I don't want to play it by myself. So this is why I wanted to do it for the first one. There will be many more games to be played 2-player. Trying to get some obscure ones, but thanks for tuning in for this one. And if you have any suggestions of any 2-player games or any multiplayer games you want to see, drop them in the comments below. like, subscribe, and share. And I'm gonna have these guys back again for another 2-Player Tuesday. So take care, guys.
Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail. Don't forget to like and subscribe.